Welcome, everyone. This is Carol Zelkin, the Executive Director of the IMCCA. It's our pleasure today to have a chat with Krish Ramakrishnan, the founder of IMCCA member BlueJeans Network. About a decade ago, Krish identified a need for a cloud service that could tie together video conferencing from many disparate providers. He launched with his partner. They launched BlueJeans back then as the first service to achieve this interoperability. BlueJeans now is a powerhouse of collaboration and just recently became part of Verizon. Our Director of Emerging Technologies, David Danto, will chat with Krish about the Verizon deal and about BlueJeans' plans in the post-COVID-19 world. David?
Great. Thank you very much, Carol. Krish, welcome, and my congratulations, of course, on you and Algu Perianan's success in putting BlueJeans together. You must be happy about everything that's happened recently.
Yeah, thank you, David. Thank you, Carol, for that warm introduction. Always been a great champion of IMCCA from inception. You know, it has gone through ups and downs, but never been. This is the best of times. There's no worst of times for the conferencing world, and you guys have been lighting this torch for a long time. So I'm happy to rejoin the founders today on this call.
Great, thank you very much. So let's talk a little bit about you for a second. You know, this wasn't your first startup. I know you've done a bunch of other things. You want to tell us a little bit about the other companies that you've launched really briefly?
Yeah, actually, the first company I launched was actually in another pioneering moment in the industry. It's actually when the internet was actually born as a commercial tool back in like 1992, 93 world. And I also said, hey, I should do something to connect business to the internet. This is when Netscape was being formed. So I was fortunate enough to start a company, but self-funded with two other founders. And it was acquired by Cisco and went on to do lots of different things for Cisco. That was called Internet Junction. And then after the dot-com crash, I decided maybe it's time to start something different. And I started a server company called Topspin, which actually built interconnect to build supercomputers. And lo and behold, when Cisco decided to get into the server business, they knew where to come and get me. And I was acquired, and I was the general manager there for their virtualization. BlueJeans, this thing is started. You rightly noted. We saw the opportunity that video was never interoperable, and we wanted to solve that problem. So Algo and I crafted this business. How can we start something not only interoperability but in the cloud? So that's the third. So I've started about this is my third successful startup, if you will, and I'm happy how things turned out.
Any brief comparison between the experiences with the startup and sale there and the startup and sale here? Was this, was this kind of the same experience going through? Was it different? Was, anything major different about, taking a company from birth to, exit?
Every company goes through its ups and downs and challenges, but and so from a business perspective, you can never rest on your laurel in any one of those environment. However, BlueJeans presented the greatest opportunity to change how businesses communicate more so than the other company at date. But there's one commonality amongst all companies that started that is ultimately what is important in a company, besides having fun going every day, is the culture that you're able to create within a company. Every BlueJeaners, current, former employees and customers say we have one of the best cultures, open, transparent. So I cherish that every day.
Yeah, no, it was terrific, and I know a lot of the people there, and we've known each other for a while, so it certainly was unique and wonderful and fun. So let's change gears just for a second, and let's talk about what I'm calling the horrible perfect storm. It's
Yeah.
horrible because of the illness and the disease and the death and everything going on with COVID-19. But it came at a time, a perfect storm time, where most people had broadband internet to their home. It's still an issue. There's still some privilege involved, and that needs to be fixed in society. But a lot more people had it than before. They had computers, they had tablets, they had, some I/O devices, headsets, cameras, and everybody
Yeah.
was forced to stay home and work. And we've discovered that essentially remote working works, which is what we've been telling everybody for years and years and years. So how
Exactly.
what was your experience just in terms of being at the rudder or behind the people at the rudder at BlueJeans as this COVID-19 thing hit?
For me, the two things. The personal experiences. As I said, culture matters. I like the office environment, going and actually water cooler talks, dropping by and having that ad hoc conversation. So for me, working from home while I'm being in front of the video was not the thing. It's just the isolation was the main issue. But what I was surprised by is how rapid the entire country, in fact, the entire world, adopted to work from home when there was right. And actually, and you said it right, David, which is people discovered there isn't any function that you cannot actually work from home from, right? With an effective video conference and effective communication tool at your disposal, you can actually pretty much get everything done and get it done effectively. But think
For
about
knowledge
it.
workers, of course.
All right?
For
Yeah,
knowledge workers, of course.
for knowledge workers. So yes, there's obviously factory workers have to go. Unfortunately, some of them also pay the price of being there. For the people who can work from home, where lots of times people said this cannot be done from home, even trading, financial institutions who did not like that were able to perform. I think this has pushed the industry light years ahead, right? Remember, the epoch of this is 1964 World's Fair, where AT&T demonstrated
Picture phone.
right, yeah, that was like 50 years ago. Finally, we have realized it, and it took a virus.
Yeah, that's one of the memes that's around the internet right now. Who is responsible for your digital transformation, the CEO, the CIO, or COVID-19? So everybody kind of realized that this works. And in fact, the company that I work for told everybody last week that you need to take Friday off. You're working too hard. When we give up the commute and we're constant, the productivity just goes through the roof. So tell us a little bit about the Verizon deal. I'm stunned when I read the articles, and you can tell me if it's true or not. That the entire deal was negotiated completely over video. That there were no in-person meetings because of the event. How did it come about, and what are your feelings about it?
Uh, yes, and that's one of the surprises of COVID-19, that you could do actually a big deal like that over video, and that's a new discovery. Typically, this time, having sold companies before, this type of meetings, you would have gone to each other's corporate headquarters, spend months and months of due diligence, in-place visit. But this is all done over video. So the way it happened, David, it's very simple. We were negotiating a reseller partnership with Verizon. Verizon was very happy with our technology for selling into not only the small medium businesses bundling with their One Talk offer on the UCaaS side, but also for the corporate networks. In the process of signing the reseller deal, we talked about what are the future roadmaps going to look like. And it dawned on us, if you actually are part of the network, this is after all a communication tool. If you're actually part of the network and buried into the infrastructure, so therefore it's not an OTT anymore, you could do phenomenal transformation on how video is delivered. And I'm going to talk about that. And so that got us excited and say, wow, there is a possibility here. It's our dream to deliver low latency for video. So that's how it started. We did the reseller deal. Then COVID-19 happened. And then we discussed this more and more, and it made sense and said, let's not have COVID-19 stop our relationship. Let's just turbocharge it. And the leadership of Verizon, uh, hats off to them, that let's just do it. And over a 3-month period, all due diligence was done through video conferencing, and of course that actually aided and abet the sale process itself. They can see the benefit.
It's an amazing story to think that something like that could happen over collaboration tools and how stable the network is, that all that due diligence and all the meetings and all the discussions, and it's a testament to how well collaboration, video tools work, and specifically how well BlueJeans works.
Yeah, and COVID-19 presented us a lot of challenges, like we've seen, which is, I will tell you a real story. Companies after companies in early March will notify us and say, next week we are shutting down and moving everybody to work from home. There's a capacity planning and estimation and so on. So we know the peaks and the valleys. But when everything shifts to home, then the multiple muxing factors don't apply anymore, because previously some people are in the conference room, there are 10 people attending it, but all 10 people are now at home. And every in-person meeting, which is not a video conference, is also going to be on a video conference. So overnight, companies after company notified us that they're going to shut down, and our capacity went, usage went 400% overnight. So how do you handle that type of capacity increase? Huge challenge. And to our engineering ops team, I'm glad that they worked it out, and it was great. But we did not have, I would say, we had the most minimal of disruption. My customers are the bluest of the blue chips, and they declared this to be mission critical. And for us not to drop anything was a testament to our engineering.
Yeah,
and our Verizon noticed that as well.
It was definitely amazing. Again, we've been using it. We've been using all the platforms throughout the industry, and kudos to everybody who did that. But yes, your platform is amazingly stable. We've been using it for recordings. It's amazing how well it's scaled. Very impressive. The other thing that's interesting that we're now learning here, and this is not specifically BlueJeans, but it's good to realize what's going on in our industry, is that the concept of remote working now has to change from the concept of business continuity in the past. Business continuity would always be, hey, go to this alternate site. Well, there was no alternate site, so it's go home and work from home, and everybody worked from home. They turned on, they tested, they say, hi, I can see you can see me, great, now I have it here in case of an emergency. But nobody assumed that their spouses would be working at the same time, and their kids would be on distance learning at the same time. And, the pounding of the broadband at home, nobody did what I like to call the flush test, flush all the toilets at the same time and see if the pipes explode. And people have realized now, we're right about in the phase now where people are realizing, okay, we got past the it works phase. Now, how do we make it work well phase? What peripherals, what gear, what connectivity? So we're really at the beginning part, not the end part of this new culture where people will work remotely and rely on your product.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first phase, as you rightly pointed out, was all about, hey, if the video works and I show up, that's good enough. Now that this is going to continue for a while, both the employees and the IT organizations are realizing that the key to this is to have a good cloud strategy. And it's not only cloud strategy on collaboration, which was always cloud-based, but access to documents, storage. Every aspect has to be accessible through some kind of a cloud mechanism that's easier to maintain. That's number one. But more, the second aspect coming to collaboration, you cannot be working from home with non-ergonomic setup. You need all those things now matter. Because yes, initially it was all the euphoria. I'm working from home. I'll make do with whatever. Now, if I'm going to be spending 8 hours a day in front of a camera, video conferencing, I want to make sure that I have the best cameras, the best headset, the best speakerphone, and the lighting, and I need a permanent location. All those things matter. because now this is work life now. Your home
Yep.
life is your work life. So you need all of those things. So I do see a tremendous amount of change happening in this space. Even BlueJeans, we had to do two things to modify our roadmap. One, bring in all work from home features. Yeah, that means noise cancellation, blurring backgrounds, different types of layouts, lots of different things that make sense in the context of working from home. At the same time, working from home also poses security challenges, right? Who's listening? Who's all those things. So we had to redo our roadmap to make sure that we are still secure, still easy to use when you're working from home. And the third component, of course, is bandwidth and bandwidth management, because as you said, David, when you're working from home, you may have 2 or 3 conferencing solutions going on at the same time, and not to mention some of your kids back from college are watching Netflix. You didn't account for that. So, right? So bandwidth management became a big deal for working from home. So all these things actually is a good thing for the industry because it spurs innovation.
No, absolutely, and we're going to start to see formulas work from home. How many office workers do you have at home? How many kids? How many toddlers? Times whatever the hold is for their bandwidth, and we're going to have to figure that out going forward. All very interesting. All right, so let's go. Let's take out crystal balls here. Don't say anything that you can't say. I'm not interested in any NDA information, but let me know about the future of BlueJeans with Verizon and anything that we can be expecting, or areas that we can be expecting you guys to go in now that you're together.
Well, I will say BlueJeans forever. So I have the new, this is how it's going to be logoed, BlueJeans by Verizon. So
Cool.
the first thing is the product brand name is going to be BlueJeans by Verizon. That's what they're going to be selling. And so that's one. But our main goal is to accelerate whatever the roadmap we already have. Verizon is increasing the resources that we have. So that means that brings about great innovation in terms of work from home technology, in terms of all the room system. There's going to be people coming back to office. So that means previously the industry went for one touch, one click, one something. The innovation now is going to be on zero touch, zero click, right? Because of COVID-19. Innovation is going to be on in a room, conference room, people are going to be spread apart. How do you make it look like a cohesive video conferencing rather than, and you've seen this ugly press conferences that people have, our politicians do, everybody spread apart. It looks so bad. So how do you make it all look a little more collaborative? There's a lot of that type of thought process. That's on one end. On the other end, there's one of the areas that we want to innovate is in integrating into Verizon network itself so that we can deliver very super low latency video. Video is always subject to latency. By integrating into the network, we can cut down the latency, provide the high bandwidth. That means we can increase the resolution at which we can deliver videos. Those are all moving the needle forward in the industry. 720p, 1080p, 2K, 4K videos, all of that.
And the FiOS service that I have in my home has been, outstanding in terms of its bandwidth. I can just imagine what the linkage is going to be between BlueJeans and
Exactly.
Verizon FiOS.
Right. That's one of the areas, right? That the title linkage delivers at the last mile is no longer going to be cursed, right? And then on top of that, 5G. 5G is just around the corner, and Verizon is a big proponent of 5G, a big innovator of 5G. And if you look at this, the specs on 5G, it is tailor-made for video delivery, interactive video. So it's not just video conferencing. Interactive video is really about streaming and all of these other technologies. And as you know, BlueJeans was a big pioneer in virtual events. How do you stream and how do you make that interactive? So there's a wide variety of applications that you could see BlueJeans participate on, all the way from Yahoo Media. Yahoo is also a big property of Verizon. So you can see where all the opportunity where Verizon can take our technology and actually propagate all the way from the business to business applications to consumer application. So 5G, expect that, and some of the application could be in telemedicine, distance learning, and so on. And the third leg of the stool, unified communication. You know that everybody in the industry wants to bundle video with UCaaS and so on. BlueJeans always stayed as a best of breed company. We wanted to integrate with as many UCaaS players. Now we have the opportunity to bundle with Verizon's UCaaS and influence that roadmap, which is OneTalk, and make that product sizzle. So those are some of the things that we are thinking about. So our customers benefit in terms of an integrated delivery. We're going to innovate for video conferencing, and that's going to influence the industry as well. And we want to take this to the next level.
Krish, that's terrific. So as we start to wrap this thing up, if somebody is watching this and they want to find out more about BlueJeans by Verizon, or they want to reach out to you, what website, what email, what would you think the preferred way to get in touch with you is to get more information?
It is always BlueJeans.com, or you can go to Verizon.com under their business. There's a BlueJeans page, but come to BlueJeans.com. All the information is available. As you know, Krish at BlueJeans.com. That's a sure ticket to get to my attention.
Terrific. Thank you very much. So on behalf of the industry, thank you for your vision. About 10 years ago, actually. That's interesting.
Exactly.
Thank you for seeing where this was going. Thank you for everything that BlueJeans does. The IMCCA, thanks you for all the services you provided to us, and we're really excited to see there's going to be more exciting things coming from BlueJeans by Verizon. Appreciate it, and hopefully we can, someday when there's a vaccine or a treatment or there's a trade show again, we'll get back together and I'll shake your hand again.
David, you've always been a great supporter of the industry. Carol, you too, and all the trade shows. I miss some of those trade shows, by the way. And all those things are going to go virtual, and I'm actually working on technologies for that. But I do miss the trade show and the coffee talks and all those things. Hopefully, those things are restored. Thank you for years of support, both of you, for this industry. You guys have been a champion, and good luck to you guys as well. Stay safe.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. You stay safe as well.
Hopefully we'll see you soon. Take care.